I'm going to show you a super fun microblading pattern to give you those really fluffy strokes. This is really good for someone who has that upward growing hair, but you still want it to look natural, so I'm just going to show you how to do that. So I like to use the U-blade. I feel like it's easier to make those really round and curvy strokes. So I always start at the head, and I like to stagger my strokes because I feel like it looks more natural. I'm just going to maintain these strokes moving in an upward direction, kind of coming a little outside my brow mapping line just to give it that extra fluff. Really staggering strokes here. Now this pattern really isn't for everyone. You want to make sure that the stroke pattern you choose is going to match the natural hair growth. But when they already have that naturally fluffy look, why not add a little more pizzazz to it? So just filling in, working my way to the arch. Now when you start to get to the arch, you'll notice that your strokes may get a little longer. So what I like to do is add maybe 3 strokes. Kind of depends on the size of the brow, but I'm gonna start to add 3 strokes so that they're not as long and it kind of fills in the brow a little more. Making sure to curve onto that line up here. You don't want it being straight up and down because that doesn't look natural. You want it to curve onto the line. Really curving out and over so that these strokes start going up into the arch and over into the tail. Now I've moved back to just 2 strokes because I'm at a thinner part of the brow where it's okay to just do 2 strokes. I don't need to fill in as much space. So curving these strokes towards the tail, up and over, is gonna make it look the most natural. Okay, so now we have our brow filled in, but I'm going to actually add a little more decoration right through here in that arch, just to give it a little more density. So I'm just gonna add some smaller strokes right in here. Remembering to keep it in the same direction as the other strokes. Maybe one right here too. Okay, let's do the other side. I'm gonna start doing 3 strokes right about here. Otherwise, my strokes will be a little too long and not look that natural. Also, it will just help to fill in that brow more. The more strokes, the more your brow is filled in. The thicker it looks. Always remembering to curve up and over, up towards the arch and over towards the tail. That's gonna look the most natural. That's why I think the U-blade works a lot better for this, because you really need to curve these strokes over here. Otherwise, instead of looking fluffy, it will just look like a spiky eyebrow. We don't want that. I don't know, maybe do. All the way towards the end of the brow. And again, I'm just gonna fill in right here in the arch where it's not as dense. So I'm just gonna put a few smaller strokes. Extend that one just a little. And I'm gonna add here also. And this is our fluffy brow. As you can see, I've been kind of practicing these. It's a really fun brow to do. Just gives it a little different look than the traditional microblading. What you don't want to do is go straight up and down the whole time without moving your strokes in the direction that the hair grows. It's not going to look natural. So you see, if I don't start curving at the arch right here, it's just not gonna look as natural. So no to this, yes to these, and these. So try this out and see how it looks. Another little tip is you can tell your client if they want to use a brow gel after the microblading is healed to brush their brow hairs up and over, and it will kind of hold them in place, and it will just emphasize those fluffy upward strokes.